This is Jeremy Zwinger from the Rice Traders, summarizing the December 20th TRT report. This is our last report for the year. It's been a pleasure to serve you in 2021, a very chaotic 2021, but still an interesting year on many levels. I would like to start the video chat by just saying I appreciate everybody, like I said, and especially those who were able in this last week to come to the World Rice Conference. I know it was great trials for anybody who attempted to travel. I know Subra was in quarantine twice, so on the way in and the way out. I had quite a bit of troubles also myself, and people throughout the world who came, who attended in our satellite offices, and just want to give you, I think, a big thank you for your efforts to keep the rice industry coming together in such a difficult and chaotic time. So it was a very successful conference, and it was due to the great help from the sponsors and for our many supporters throughout the world. With that, I'd like to also just look ahead and pray for blessings in this holiday season as we're going to take 2 weeks off, and we're going to wish the blessings upon everybody, really just rest and recover from all these personal and professional challenges we faced for 2 years with COVID and everything going on. For us, it's going to be a step back time to get the batteries recharged so we can really continue analytical work and good service of putting on the World Rice Conference and helping in so many ways. So with that, let's get to the report. It is our last report. It is a slower week, of course, being the week of hardy many players have gone off the holiday. But it's still some activity. And as we slip into the 2021 holiday season before we start 2022, there's a few key items. Again, there was the World Rice Conference. A lot of interesting things came out of the World Rice Conference, which were in our report. Thailand did win the world's best rice again. And the 13th of all TRT World Rice Conferences. And there was the 6th time that they had won it themselves. So just a good conference. They had several satellite offices. Vietnam, through a very nice gathering for their friends. Hong hosted that for the Rice Trader with our many sponsors, Farm Angel and Bueller and Vina 1 and Vina 2, and just so many people who supported us throughout the world. So, it was a good time to just go through those key things happening in the market, and heavy congratulations to Thailand and really India and the head of the Rice Export Association of India, just winning the Market Achievement Award. Their executive did, and just the great achievement of India, going to come close to 20 million tons. I don't think they're going to quite reach the 20 million ton mark. But they're going to come very close. There is some other things. Of course, Omicron did affect the World Conference. I think we probably lost a couple hundred people in the last just few days that registered and moved to off-site and various other things. So Omicron is affecting the world. There's increased push for regulations, more shutdowns in the U.S., more shutdowns throughout the world. Talk that the vaccines don't seem to touch the Omicron variant, the very little resistance. Just a lot of social upheaval, those who are vaccinated or unvaccinated, who can go where, who can go not. People in the U.S. being pushed out of the military if they're unvaccinated. Even on my trip, you had to have a PCR test 72 hours before you left, and then on the way back, they changed the rule and it had to be 24 hours, which is a big issue because a lot of these tests take 48 hours to get back. So it took some real work to get your test back within that short time frame. So Omicron and COVID-19 continue to be such an overlying key piece. From there, I would have to go to the logistic issue. The logistic issue is amazingly affecting the global market, the nut market, the rice market. Containers are stacked way back with long waiting lines. And just a real tough issue of people not wanting to work, of people just overstressed and have had enough of the situation. So you're not being as efficient as you'd want to be globally, and things are just not moving in so many levels. The positive third point was relatively food stocks are high, although they're starting to fall into somewhat average levels. If there would be a big drought, it'd be an issue, although I expect there'd be pretty good crops coming forth. But it is in good stocks for the overall industry, especially rice, very good stocks for rice. And so that's a real key additional point. In addition to that, the grains market has been extremely hot on the logistical issue, on fears of lack of supply. And that's led to some really high prices. I mean, corn is going to very likely continue to be very high. Acres do not look very good. As people are looking at the current situation and production costs and saying, the fertilizer costs are going to be double, the chemical costs are going to be so high. Soybeans are going to get a large amount of acres versus corn. Soybeans being a legume and putting nitrogen back into the soil. Rice and corn are some of the highest per acre per hectare usage of fertilizer, and so the costs are going to be significant. And look this to be some transition in 2021 crop cycles away from rice for sure. So those are really some of the big things that I see going on a lot of levels. And this fertilizer piece is a very key point, because it takes such a long time to get new fertilizer production online, billions of dollars. I mean, just immense amount of funds to do it, and also have demand and know the demand's going to be there. So it's not a simple situation, a simple fix. And once you get behind something like this as well. I would, of course, reiterate that India has really come to be the dominant world player in exports. It helped with their government situation to definitely be that player. And they've really led 2021 with nearly 20 million metric tons of sales. Thailand looks to recover in the coming year. A lot of positive things we're hearing out of there with better crops, better situation. It will be probably a better situation for many players, I would guess. Though if India remains as cheap as they have been, it'll be tough for the other players to compete. Just looking at the prices we're quoting this week, India is at 5% is at $350. Thai is at 383. Now they're very difficult. Vietnam's at 405. Now you're talking about $55 premium to Vietnamese rice. That's very difficult, and that's with a $20 decrease on the week. It was 425 to 355 just the prior week. Really, outside of that, Myanmar is showing some cheap prices at 360 for 5% and 300 for Sortex Brokens. So just a very cheap price when you're looking against the major grain markets, which are very expensive. You're going to have to see rice probably come up, I would expect, based upon the fertilizer, based upon everything. Outside of that, what else strikes us? If I move to this week's key reports, we do go through some key speeches and key awards of the World Rice Conference. We also go through the USDA's WASDE report and the supply and demand numbers from USDA that came out this week. As we slide in, not a lot of great interest. It just continues to show ending stocks are pretty high. Production has been very good. And overall, the global markets are going to be well supplied with rice for sure in the period ahead. In that there is plenty of available supplies, definitely plenty of available supplies on many levels. We do see a production falling for the first time below consumption in 2021-22. And that's been the first time since 2005, a real red signal, I would say, to the world. If the pressure from the other grains pushes that acres even maybe a little bit more down, you will have a dip finally after years and years into the ending stocks. And of course, ending stocks have gone from very small not too long ago to just the last year. You're looking at a global ending stocks 186 million metric tons. So a large amount of ending stocks globally. When total consumption is about 510 million metric tons. Excuse me, I meant million metric tons as far as ending stocks. 186 million metric tons of ending stocks. So that stock to use ratio is looking pretty decent for rice as well. Outside of that, what strikes us? You're definitely in an inefficient time as far as global situation as workers. People are having immensity of problems in a lot of ways. It's not really getting press. It's almost like a soft issue where efficiency has declined. We are negative stock market. We are negative the dollar. We're negative Bitcoin. I would be selling every Bitcoin I owned. I believe in electronic currency, but electronic currency that has no real functional value other than belief is a very dangerous, very dangerous thing. Even understanding the importance of being able to have currency move instantaneously. Anyway, I think the coming year will be amazing in a lot of ways. I think we will rebound. The world trade was up 18% on the year. I don't think we can do that again, but I think it'll be prices up a little bit, a little less volume as far as rice because of the production will be a bit down. With that, I just want to say my final blessings to you for 2021. For me personally, it's been a long year. I have great staff and team that have helped put on world conferences and write the rice trade report. And I just want to thank them first. I want to thank you all, and again, send blessings to all of the team and all of our clients and friends who have allowed us to be successful. With that, I put an end to 2021 as we put out this report. And thank you all for your support. I wish you have a great holidays, and I hope to see you all again soon, hopefully soon in the 2022 year.